I can still do this, y'all. That the dude, that's the GOAT, that's still me. But that's when he's clean, no Greeny. What happens when it gets a little mucky? What happens when there's some people around his feet? When the phantoms start flying in the backfield? That wasn't the same Tom Brady. That Tom Brady falls to a bottom half of the league quarterback. So where does he go in the playoffs? The reason he's the GOAT is the way that his game rises and the level of his concentration heightens when the playoff starts. Well, that's why he's here, and that's where they are. When people get around his feet, when the pocket gets muddy, does he turn into the Tom Brady we saw this year, or does he dig deep and find that championship medal? He's going to have to do that to get out of the NFC. We've seen him play when things are great, when he has paradise, or like Dan says, euphoria. But what happens when he gets ugly? That will tell the tale of this season for Tom Brady.
Well, it'll have to start for him if he's going to go there at Washington. That's where it'll begin. And then if the seeds were to hold, he would then have to go to Green Bay. Go ahead, Dan.
Why you got to poo-poo on the man? Why you got to talk about the negative, RC? You threw 43 touchdowns at the age of 43.
I said that.
No, you were like, but, if they get pressure on him, he's not okay anymore. Like, come on.
Did I tell a lie? Did I tell a lie?
But can we save that for Tuesday or Culture Wednesday? Can we talk about, can we celebrate the fact that, dude, Tom Brady, Max Kellerman's got a rough morning, no doubt about it. Tom Brady is 43 and threw for 43 touchdowns in the NFL. And he's as hot as any quarterback going into the playoffs. I mean, think about this. In many ways, reinvented himself this season. I mean, he's never been notorious for the deep ball. And his deep ball has been fantastic this year. And you're right, RC, like, when they keep him clean, I said this at the beginning of the year, when they keep Tom Brady clean, he's as good as any quarterback in football. He's as accurate as any quarterback in football. His arm is as good when it's needed in those 20 to 25-yard chunk throws in a clean pocket, as good as any quarterback in football. And I think those are the questions that you're going to have to ask yourself when you play Tampa Bay, because they're not changing. Bruce Arians isn't changing the offense. You got to score like 35 to beat them, and can you get after Tom Brady? Because if you can't get after Tom Brady and you don't keep the ball in front of you on your back end, it is going to be incredibly difficult to beat this Tampa Bay offense because they're as hot as anybody going into the playoffs.
Rex, I'm trying to read the smile on your face.
Well, first off, I want to say that when you look at Ryan Clark and Dano right there, they look like twins. You got this working, you got all that kind of stuff. I couldn't tell who was who, but I'll say this. I mean, to Ryan's point about Tom Brady, man, the GOAT, he is. This is the best big game player, I mean, we've ever seen, and he does it every single year. How many times he would get a below average team to the Super Bowl it's just crazy. But when I look at it, the thing that's scary to me is it seems like Bruce Arians and Tom Brady are finally on the same page. And that's a scary thing. And by the way, can we give Tampa credit, not just for bringing in Tom Brady and Gronkowski and all that? How about the pickup of Antonio Brown? Do they not look brilliant now that they bring in Antonio Brown, who's still one of the best receivers in the league, for this exact reason? Unfortunately, Mike Evans go down. Antonio Brown goes right in. It makes no difference. And so to me, I got to give credit to Tampa Bay for that pickup as well.
Well, give it to Brady. Brady is the executive of the year for making that pick. You can there's no question that was a TB12 move. I have to break on that thought. Much more on that game as we continue, and much more coming. Good morning. It is time to get up with Sunday Night Controversy. What did the Eagles do? Why did they do it? And why is everyone calling them a disgrace? Then, hello, Cleveland. A generation later, the Browns are back. Just how far can this team take this run? And then, the road to the Super Bowl will go through the frozen tundra. Is this the team to beat? And did the QB lock up the MVP? We'll answer all those questions as we get up with you, starting right now on a Monday from the Seaport. Delighted to be back and to have you with us. Rex Ryan is here. We're ready to go, big fella, and we're not alone. Dan Orlovsky is here. Ryan Clark is here. The NFL season is officially over, and the fun is just beginning. And it ended, I was about to say with a bang. Candidly, I'm not sure how to describe how it ended. Let's take a look at it. Washington football team clinches the NFC East with a win, taking on the Eagles. Second quarter, Eagles are down 10-0. But Dan, Jalen Hurts is getting things done with his legs.
It's an outstanding job of realizing, okay, the RPO is covered. It's in man. No one's got me. Let me use my speed to get to that front pylon touchdown, Philly.
Under 5 minutes to go. It's still 10-7, third down, and it's Hurts. Again, look at this one. Thrilling one for Arcega-Whiteside.
You love to see him climb that pocket and then find that receiver, give him a big physical ball to go catch.
And then the very next play, once again using his legs, he's the first Eagles quarterback with 2 rushing touchdowns in a game since Michael Vick. They're up 14-10. Oh, he's playing well. You got to keep him in the game. Meanwhile, Alex Smith, he's looking up top.
It's a great job of Alex Smith realizing that trailing backside linebacker. He's got his back turned to me. Give Logan Thomas a high ball for the touchdown.
Now we're 5 minutes left in the third. It's 1st and 10. It's Alex Smith, and this ball is going to get ripped away from J.D. McKissick, and the Eagles are in business.
It's a great play by Michael Epps to get that pick, and then you see Jalen Hurts hanging, trying to find somebody. That ball is going to get thrown away, and all of a sudden it's decision-making time for the Philadelphia Eagles.
The decision they make is to go for it on 4th down. Rex, do you like that decision?
No, of course not. I hate that decision. Another one, chalk another one up for analytics.
Field goal would have tied it, but then is when it really gets interesting. 4th quarter in a 3-point game. Jalen Hurts is on the bench, and Nate Sudfeld is in the game and throwing arm punts. This one is picked off by Jeremy Reeves. Washington takes over. Smith would get intercepted, and then we have more of this nonsense from the Eagles on a 2nd down. Now they can't even handle the snap. The Washington football team controls the football, the fumble. The Washington football team wins the division. The Philadelphia Eagles lose the respect of everyone. Doug Peterson, what?
That was my decision solely. Nate has obviously been here for 4 years, and I felt that he deserved an opportunity to get some snaps. And listen, if there's anything out there that thinks that I was not trying to win the game, I mean, you know, Ertz is out there, Brandon Graham's out there, Darius Slay's out there. You know, all our top guys are still on the field at the end.
Well, say for one. Anyway, Chris Mortensen tweeted this. This is the most negative barrage of comments I have received about a game's lack of integrity, and that's not even counting Giants-related bias. Consensus from those in the NFL and those who've been associated with it, disgrace. That's not the fault of the Washington football team. All right, let's talk about it, because frankly, it is about as interesting a way for an NFL season to end as I can remember in a very long time. What word would you use to sum up that decision?
Strange. When I see it right there, you know, at first I'm like, did something happen to Jalen Hurts? And then when, you know, I still never knew. But you don't, look, Peterson's a good football coach, but that's a horrible moment for him. And quite honestly, I questioned going into the game the commitment of the Philadelphia Eagles of being a true pro, lining up and play. And when I saw that injury report and the guys who weren't playing, I was shocked on how many guys, you know, yeah, he mentioned some guys that were playing, but there was a whole list of guys that weren't. And then making this move, absolutely awful.
Ryan Clark, what do you think?
You know what I thought in 256 games, right, that the NFL fought through a pandemic to bring you, even one of those games starting a practice squad receiver at quarterback, this was the most disgraceful. This was the one they should have allowed to be canceled, to be postponed. This is the one that protocol should have taken over because of the way it finished. You know, Doug Peterson is talking about, you know what, we tried to win. They still had Brandon Graham. We had Darius Slay on the field. Well, I saw Deshaun Watson play to the very end, and he's one of the best players, one of the best quarterbacks in this league because his coach and their quarterback was trying to win the football game. And when Chris Mortensen sends out a tweet, and Mort says in that tweet that it was disgraceful, but not because of the Washington football team. When in this decade, when in this year, when forever do we hear disgraceful, and it involves two teams, and we have to make a distinction that it's not because of the Washington football team. That's what this decision was for Doug Peterson. That's what this decision was for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's a terrible way to end the season that for 17 weeks you fought so hard to give your fans the games that were scheduled.
That's a point really well taken. Deshaun Watson fought to the end yesterday in a meaningless game. Matt Stafford, playing with a variety of injuries, played the entire day yesterday. And they wanted to get Nate Sudfeld's snap stand like this was week 4 of the preseason. I mean, what is that?
Last night was a mockery. It was an absolute mockery. We hear the term tanking in sports and say, Listen, front offices, they will tank. Yes, because it's better for their organization long term. Coaches and players just don't. You just don't see